Weekend,
Fun.
January the 31st. We are streaming live, podcasting live because we live.
And recording to go on.
What?
And recording to go on a podcast.
Yeah, I love your little sweatshirt.
Oh my goodness.
Camp Iowa, very nice.
Pulling out the work clothes.
I haven't seen that. The last work sweater.
I wasn't sure what's on the schedule for today. I didn't
Work.
know if we're painting or what's happening.
Isn't it fun when you can go to work and not know what you're really doing? Like, are we shoveling stuff? Are we painting? Am I doing books? What are we doing? Meeting with people. Isn't that fun? Yeah, no?
There's an element of fun to it, yeah.
I was just thinking of Camp Iowa. Man, I love that place. Remember we were camp counselors or whatever we were? They gave us the responsibility of being responsible, and which I'm not, and you had to follow rules. And there's a lot of rules at camp. I remember one specific rule that I disliked was they have this thing called the blob. And so it's a big pillow on the water. And they had weight restrictions. So one person would sit at the end of the blob and the other person would jump off the high dive and the other person would catapult. So there was weight restrictions, which
you weren't allowed to catapult people.
I was not allowed. But there was one counselor, a junior counselor who was very petite. And she let me explode her off the blob. Those were fun days. The camp days with children and yeah, good sweater.
Did you go to camp as a kid?
I went to camp as a kid because I was the pastor's kid.
Oh,
so
right,
we
right,
always got to go.
You did get to go.
Yeah. And then once we went to Lake Champion in New York and we got banned because we were a little bit
bad.
I would say that people thought we were bad. Yeah. I would say that we were exuberant in all of our comings and goings.
Troublesome.
Yeah, we had pillow fights with cab. Oh man, we made it. We were bad. Yeah, we were bad. Days have changed.
Would you say that you can recognize that you were an instigator?
Yeah. Like I wasn't an instigator. I was a follow through. Like this is what we're going to do. And we raided cabins and we did pillow fighting.
But were those your ideas?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for the most part. I had a lot of energy. And so if I didn't get it burnt up in the daytime, then you got to burn it up somehow. So I thought pillow fighting at 2 a.m. or whatever were good plans. But I didn't have much of an off switch. I would drive people to the brink of insanity. And then for some odd reason, almost like a little hyena, once I smelt the other person's anxiety and frustration, then I would capitalize on that and nip and bite. Yeah. Horrible trait for a child. But hey, I've come a long way. Good morning, Janet. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. We are going to begin our how do you make amends for some of that stuff?
I was just wondering. I was just thinking about that.
I think a lot of it's living amends.
But then, are there people, have you made amends to people that were in your life?
In my life?
Yeah.
I've made amends. But are you talking specifically to people that I would put, it would be leadership. It would be like a camp counselor where I would take them to the brink of insanity of why am I here? That's my perception. Maybe they loved me. Maybe they're like, that kid, if it wasn't for that kid, this camp would have been boring.
I feel like if you're thinking the brink of insanity piece, you should probably trust that inclination and understand that.
I believe I have made penance and amended many things just from being a camp counselor myself and having to sacrifice for free for a couple of years of our vacation time. So maybe there is an amendment at some level. I think amending is amending relationships, but amending the wrongs that we need to right.
How do you make
right
it right?
The wrongs?
Yeah.
So you do reap what you sow.
Our friends taught that to their 5-year-old. He said to his teacher, he had to tell the teacher the truth. And then he said, how do I make it right? So
Man,
cute.
I didn't have that language hey, look, a squirrel.
So cute. All right,
here we go. January the 31st.
Thanks for sharing that little insight into your awareness.
My awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we did this beforehand. We get to enter the day in prayer and meditation, and then we just ask each other, what do you think we'll be aware of with our pride and our self-esteem and
Where
our
do you-
ego, our fear? Where's this going to crop up?
No, I don't think I have any.
And then you said, no,
I can't
I'm
think
clear.
of any.
I'm
No,
clear.
I said I can't think of any.
I can't think of any.
I'm not aware of any
And I
right
said
now.
one thing.
You said one thing and then pew!
And all of a sudden, there was sirens.
Here's all my insecurity. Here it is, all my insecurity and fear. Oh, wow.
It's so funny that we don't see it, though. But it doesn't mean it wasn't in there.
I have a lot of insecurity and fear.
No. Hey.
Probably why I have
Deep breath
had
in.
headaches since August.
Oh.
Probably.
If I
Potentially.
could kiss them all away,
Potentially.
I would do that for you. All right, January the 31st, here we go. One of the difficulties many of us experience when the alcohol has turned from the bottle
Mm-hmm.
to AA or 12-step meetings and sobriety is that we may have just as little companionship as we had before. So he's trading his bottle for the AA meetings. What good is it, we complain, to have him out every night, whether it's at a bar or at an AA meeting? Al-Anon, the Al-Anon can be of infinite help to us in correcting. Al-Anon can be of infinite help to us by correcting this point of view. We learn to see this new way of life in its true light as an opportunity to relieve ourselves of our feeling of responsibility for the alcoholic and to recognize and build upon the inner resources on which our personal serenity depends on. Today's reminder, I prayed for sobriety and now it's here. And he's so annoying and he's always leaving. And I am using it only, I added that part. Am I using it only to find a new reason to feel sorry for myself? Wouldn't I be happier if I could now turn my attention to finding ways to enjoy this new life? Quote, I pray to understand that the adjustment to sobriety is no more difficult for me than for the alcoholic. Let me look for the good things in this new way of life. It's comical because we've lived it.
Oh my goodness, did we ever?
And as the partner of the other, and you see this in the family afterwards in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, where the wife, we'll just use wife, broad brush, and the children have demands and expectations still. Now that you're sober, now you're back here, and now you can do all these things that you've let us down on. And isn't that the family and the wife of playing God?
Yeah,
we all are playing God.
I think we all do that. And I think it doesn't have to be necessarily be in an alcoholic marriage. I think that in life in general, we can so easily be people who are dissatisfied.
Dissatisfied.
So something gets better or something changes. And then I go to the next thing like, this is not okay. This is not okay. I'm upset about this. And for us, that was significant. You know, when you got sober, I did not like you.
Yeah, so
I
then
was like, I do not like him.
I remember you screaming at me.
Screaming.
But it just shows you how selfish you are.
Like a crazy person.
That just because you're sober, you're still a jerk.
No, I said a bad word. I said a-hole. You might be in...
So because of that,
yeah,
because of expectations and demands of lost time, so I'm coming out of the clouds and going like, wow, there is so much responsibility here. There is so many demands and expectations. Like, what the heck? Like, this life is hard. Yeah. And here I am in self-pity, but then there's demands and expectations from the family, and I can't meet them. And there's this horrible beginning of recovery, that first year or two or wherever you're at. But what's the root of all of it? Because it's really self-pity is like, so what's the root of this self-pity? I'm not getting my needs met.
Yeah.
And I need you to meet my needs, and I need the kids to meet my needs, and I need you to meet my needs. And here we are with the responsibility of life and my bills and going to work and being sober, and I don't have this break like I used to.
Yeah.
And it's like God's not. I'm not getting my needs met because there's so much demand on me, and you're not getting your needs met because I'm trying to do recovery just like I did the bar. And we're stuck in this self-pity party. It's not even a party.
We did take very wise steps though.
The root is, though, not being connected to God.
Right. So we took wise steps back then to connect to God.
And so why I say that is that we have come to understand that God will meet all of our needs.
Mm-hmm.
He might not be like the Amazon guy, but it goes a lot further than those kind of needs, where it's like the need is inside of me. The need to be comforted, the need to be parented, the need to be disciplined, instructed, the need for joy, the need for peace. And I only get that from God. I used to get it from the bottle, but it was a facsimile of it. So now I have to connect to God, but there's a process of that. So then I get stuck in that self-pity. But I can bring that self-pity even into today.
We didn't understand. I don't think I understood that that's what I was doing. But what I did understand is that I needed to take steps to make improvement. And so I was willing to go to uncomfortable places in order to grow. And so I knew, okay, I need to, an opportunity arose. Like someone might say like, oh, there's this program over here, or there's this, or there's that. And, I'd think, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, who are those people? Oh, that's uncomfortable. But then I just knew, okay, well, I can't stay here. We can't stay here because I remember we said, we didn't fight this long, or we didn't stay together this long to give up now. And so we were willing to go to uncomfortable places and do things that were maybe a little bit new or scary, or go to like things that were new or scary because we wanted to grow.
And if you're a big book studier, a big book reader, would you read the beginning few pages of The Family Afterward? I think it's page 121 or 122. And it's fascinating where we see that the alcoholic and the family afterward is we're all playing God.
Do you know you can just Google Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous? I think you can just Google Big Book Family Afterward.
All of my friends that are watching have the book and they carry it with them.
Yeah, but I get messages from other people who aren't in the program. And so I'm just saying you can Google it. And I think it's very applicable to lots of people, not necessarily understanding that, like, maybe you're not in an addictive relationship, but maybe some of what we talk about resonates with you. You can actually Google Big Book Family Afterward, and read the first few pages.
It starts on page 22. I forget, but I've been doing a little bit of a meditation with the first 4 pages. There is so much gold in that little part. Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous is the Bible for dummies. I can understand it. It is the good news that I've been playing God, and that God can do his job in my life and solve all of my problems. And he can do that with you too. All right. Keep the peace, be a good behavior, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye, my friends.